Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Robert Rosencrans. I'm chairman of Intelligence Squared US, the debate forum, which is an initiative of the Rosencrans Foundation. I'm here with Dana Wolf, our executive producer of this debate series. We'd like to welcome you. This is the second debate of our fall season. And with this season of live debates, and with our national radio audience, we're pursuing a lofty and ambitious goal. We're trying to raise the level of public discourse in American life. We see Congress mired in partisan rancor. We see a media that's increasingly ideological. We see policy intellectuals in the think tank world speaking to their respective choirs. And discussion of contentious policy issues everywhere seem to be dominated by intense emotions rather than by facts and reasoned analysis. But IQ Squared is not about the search for a bland middle ground. Rather, we want to encourage each side of an argument to sharpen its own thinking by listening to opposing views and responding to inconvenient facts. And we want our audience, who voted on tonight's resolution, to vote again after hearing the debate. I hope you come away with the recognition that there is an intellectually respectable argument on the other side. We're thrilled that WNYC is recording our series of debates and that through National Public Radio, you'll be able to hear this debate in many of the major cities across the country on local National Public Radio member stations. We also value the sponsorship of the Times of London, and I especially want to thank our moderator, Jeffrey Toobin of the New Yorker magazine and CNN, who I will formally introduce momentarily, and the extraordinary group of panelists who are the true stars of tonight's event. Well, you know, at first blush, tonight's motion seems like a slam dunk for the proposers. 95% of the pertinent quotations I looked at were ringing supports of free speech. But there were a couple of more sardonic observations that are perhaps truer to our real attitudes. Here's Haywood Brown. Everyone favors free speech in the slack moments when no axes are being ground. And Louis B. Mayer. I respect my executives who disagree with me, especially when it means losing their jobs. Well, it's amusing, but we do indeed live in a world where jobs are lost because of speech. Larry Summers, for example, lost the presidency of Harvard because of remarks offensive to women. Senator George Allen may well lose his because of a highly arcane ethnic epithet. So, given the heightened sensitivity of so many groups in American society to demeaning speech, we should hardly be surprised that speech offensive to Muslims elicits so strong a reaction, as appalled as we may be by the associated violence. I'm now going to hand the evening over to our moderator, Jeffrey Toobin. Jeffrey is senior legal analyst for CNN Worldwide and a staff writer at The New Yorker, where he's been covering legal affairs at the magazine since 1993. He and I are both alumni of the Harvard Law School. He joined CNN from ABC News, where he provided legal analysis on such high-profile cases as the Elian Gonzalez custody saga, for which he received the Emmy Award. Jeffrey's fifth book on the Supreme Court is due out next year. It's called The Nine, Inside the Secret World of the Supreme Court. And you're the first to know that title because it was only decided upon today. I'm now very pleased to turn the evening over to Jeffrey. Thank you. Enjoy the debate.
Thank you, Bob Rosencrans, and welcome to the second Intelligence Squared U.S. debate. Let me give you a brief rundown of the evening. First, the proposer of the motion will start by presenting their side of the argument. The opposition will follow. Each person will get a maximum of 8 minutes and will go back and forth from one side to the other. Then, when all 6 speakers are finished with their opening remarks, I will open the floor to brief questions from the audience. Third, when the Q&A is complete, each debater will make a final statement lasting not more than 2 minutes each. Fourth, during the closing arguments, ballot boxes will be passed around for voting. You all have your tickets, I assume. If you don't have your tickets with the for and against on it, just raise your hand. Some of the folks in the aisle have extra tickets, although ballot stuffing is discouraged. Also, there are pencils and paper for people who want to jot down questions while the debate is going on. Last, after the final closing statement is made, I will announce the results of the audience vote and tell you which side carried the day. For the motion, let me introduce our panelist. Author and editor of the Paris Review and a longtime staff writer for The New Yorker, Philip Gourevitch. Prolific British author, journalist, literary critic, contrarian intellectual, and subject of a New Yorker profile just last week, Christopher Hitchens. Pulitzer Prize-winning editorial cartoonist for the Philadelphia Daily News, Signe Wilkinson. Against the motion, British scholar of Jewish history and research professor in history at Royal Holloway, University of London, David Cesarani. Executive Director of the American Society for Muslim Advancement, Daisy Khan. Author, professor of law at Georgetown University Law Center, and activist scholar Mari Matsuda. Apologize for the mispronunciation. So let's begin. Signe Wilkinson, you're first.
Thank you. And thank you, Jeffrey. Since World War III almost started over a bunch of cartoons, I want to thank this evening's organizers for including a cartoonist. 2, if you include Christopher Hitchens. 150 years ago, the Tammany Hall politician Boss Tweed responded to an offensive cartoon against him with the famous line, "Stop them damn pictures." The reason we're here tonight is that these days everyone wants to stop them damn pictures if the damn pictures in question hurt their feelings or the feelings of their tribe. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Early in my career, I penned this badly drawn cartoon, Fundamental Sex Ed, Does the Stork Bring AIDS and Herpes Too? I expected calls from the fundamentalist ministers in the area, but no, I got calls from school teachers saying, "Not all teachers are fat, old, and carry rulers." And school teachers aren't alone. In the course of my 25 years as a paid professional offender, I have been attacked for criticizing people of color, people without much color, people of guns, people of excessive weight, people with trial lawyers, and Armenian people. This is a partial list and certainly doesn't begin to cover people of religion, who are the touchiest people of all. Unfortunately for the pious, Americans like their damn cartoons, and they always have. In 1872, Joseph Kepler drew this tribute to religion, which, as you can see on the lower left, offensively caricatures Jews, and on the right, offensively caricatures Catholics. But wait, in the middle, he offensively caricatures Episcopalians, Mormons, Baptists, Presbyterians, and even Henry Ward Beecher, the New Age minister and adulterer of his age. If we had more time, I'd show more cartoons. So, when newcomers arrive on our shores with their deeply held religious beliefs, they should be prepared to get in line to have those beliefs scrutinized, as they did in the mid-1800s when New York City, like Denmark today, was awash with poor foreign immigrants who came with their robed clerics and demands for separate schools. These were, of course, Catholics, not Muslims, but some American cartoonists reacted just the way the Danes did. In 1871, the father of American cartooning, Thomas Nast, drew this, the American River Ganges. The hats of the reptilian bishops crawling ashore have menacing crocodile teeth.